Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel for English learners. It is an attempt from my side to help the students of 12th board to provide them e-content material using the presentations that I have uploaded on my YouTube channel. I am Bhavani Singh, PGT English, JNV Sirohi. So dear friends, before I start my today's presentation, I would like to give you why I have started this channel and what would be the pattern of all of my presentations. Dear students, there is a famous saying that give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. This presentation is an attempt to prepare you for self-paced learning, which is the most important skill in 21st century. If you want to read any English text, what you will have to do? Generally, the students go for rote memorization, and it becomes very difficult for them to cram or to put their thoughts at the time of examinations. So, when you are reading any text, your focus should be first of all on the major theme and the sub theme of the text. Then you will have to focus on the figurative language. You will have to focus on the key sentences, characterization, and the related writing task. My presentation will certainly develop DIY spirit, that is to say, do it yourself spirit as against rote memorization. We are going to begin the second chapter from Flamingo, Lost Spring by Anis Junk. As I told you earlier, let us begin with the theme of the lesson. The theme of the lesson, as it is visible, is the plight of street children who are forced into labor in early childhood. So we can say that the major theme is of poverty and poor children who are condemned to life of exploitation, resulting in loss of childhood, innocence, education, and play. That is what is the real lost spring. So far as the sub-theme is considered, it is all about the heartlessness of society and in particular the political class to the sufferings of the poor and the vicious cycle of middlemen trapping poor, which is very hard for the poor to break. Before we begin, let us just go through the thumbnail gist of the story. So the story revolves around the pitiable condition of poor children forced to live in slums and work hard in very dirty conditions. The first part of the story tells us about the life of poor rag pickers migrated from Bangladesh, settled in Simapuri area of Delhi. The second part narrates the miserable life of the bangle makers of Firozabad. The story talks about miserable life of Sahib and Mukesh as the chief protagonist whose spring, or we can say childhood, is lost in misery and poverty. I told you there would be no story without characterization. So there are two main characters in the story. Let us discuss about the first character. And later on, when you will read the lesson, you will have to focus on these characters' traits in order to elaborate and to write the answer of the question if it is asked in examination. So the first character is Sahib-e-Alam. He is a rag picker, and there is a contrast in his name because the literal meaning of Sahib-e-Alam is Lord of the Universe, whereas he is a simple rag picker. He is a Bangladeshi refugee and lives in Simapuri. And as per the tradition of the people who live in slums, he has to live barefoot in unhygienic conditions. But contrast is there in the story because he loves attending school, wearing tennis shoes, doing better work. He wanted to earn more money, and he abandoned rag picking and started working at a tea stall, and he started getting 800 rupees per month. He has security in life, but he is very sad because he thinks that he lost his freedom. So this is what the main character Sahib-e-Alam is all about. About the second main character, that is Mukesh. Mukesh is from Firozabad, UP, and he is from the family of bangle makers. His elders don't allow the children to do other work apart from making bangles. The family is poor, starving, exposed to danger due to welding flames. They are trapped in vicious cycle of exploitation, which is very difficult for them to break. Police don't allow them to organize trade union. They are often beaten and dragged to prisons. This character Mukesh is quite different from Sahib-e-Alam because he wanted to become a motor mechanic. He dared to dream and he is determined and very much focused. Now, activities. I have picked up some important phrases or the sentences, and you will have to make a pair with your partner. You will have to think on that sentence and you will have to share your views. Although in the circled box, I have explained to some extent the meaning of that sentence. So let us talk about the first sentence. Simapuri on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it. So when we talk about this sentence, it is very much clear that it is highly metaphorical statement. It talks about the glitter and the glamorous life of the students, of the children who live in Delhi. The advantages they have, like good quality education, clean and decent life, which are beyond the reach of slum dwellers of Simapuri, which is close to Delhi yet so. Let us talk about the second statement, which is very important. It is food is more important for survival than an identity. This is the statement which indicates that all the slum dwellers, they are living here for past 30 years without an identity. That is to say, they have ration cards which provides them food, but they are torn apart from their homeland, from their fields. Why? Because their fields were unable to give them grain, whereas ration cards are enabling them to buy grain, but in city, in slums, they don't have any identity. But for them, identity is not important. What is important for survival is food. Nice statement. Garbage to them is gold. Now, here it is a hyperbolic expression. Here garbage is survival to them, just as gold is for rich people. They find coins or currency notes in garbage which is valuable as gold. Another statement or a question, can a God-given lineage ever be broken? This is the attitude of bangle maker's family, or we can say Mukesh grandmother, towards their plight. The statement indicates that the slum dwellers have mutually accepted their destiny and had stopped taking any initiative to change their fate. The statement is, they talk endlessly in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy to greed and to injustice. This statement is all about the vicious cycle of the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats and the politicians. And for the poor, it is very, very difficult to break this cycle because they are not in power to refuse and to live life according to their choice. The next statement is, listening to them, I see two distinct worlds. This is author's view. One world of the family caught in the web of poverty, other word of exploitation. And together, these two words are imposing baggage on the child that can't be put down. The next statement is, the steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulders. There is a hidden contrast in this statement. life as a rag picker was better as compared to life at tea stall. Although he had security and was earning 800 rupees per month, but as a rag picker, he was free to dream. But as a tea stall worker, he sold his freedom. So, what I wanted to tell you is that when you have to write the answer for short answer questions or long answer questions, you will have to use these phrases, these key sentences in order to prove your point. And remember, all the questions that will be asked will be based on either the theme or the characterization or the sentences that I have written here with a little bit of explanation. The years of mind numbing toil have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. Now, here they are talking why they are unable to break this vicious cycle of exploitation. It is because they have accepted it as their karma or destiny. It has dampened their spirit, and that is why, as a result, they have stopped taking initiative and ability to dream. This is what is the basic difference between the character of Sahib and Mukesh. Sahib is unable to dream. He thinks that he has sold his freedom, whereas Mukesh, who wanted to be a car mechanic, still dares to dream. This is all. Now let us relate this lesson with something that we have to do for our writing task. There will be a question on article writing. So let us write one article on the theme of the lesson. This is a question or a task for you. You will have to do that. Sahib and Mukesh, as you know, are deprived of their childhood's pleasures and education. You know, Kailash Satyarthi and Malala Yousafzai, Nobel laureates, have been fighting for the rights of the children. Motivated by these activists, write an article on the topic Evils of Child Labor and Denial of Education. You are Manoj or Malvika. Your article should be in 125 to 150 words. So, I think you will certainly follow the set format how you will have to read any textbook lesson. First of all, you will have to focus on the theme, then on the sub theme, then you will have to go for the gist or a very brief summary, then you will have to go for the main characters, then you will have to find out the key phrases or the sentences, the figurative language, and lastly you will have to relate the theme either with debate writing or with article writing or with letter writing, and you will have to write something to improve your writing skill. I think this lesson will be of great help for you. Please subscribe, share and like. Thank you.